Hi, I'm Carly Bell, and welcome to my craft room. Today I will be unboxing and showing you how to set up your brand new PE800 Embroidery Machine. As most of y'all know, if you're not new here to my channel, I have an older model of this machine, the PE770. But recently my friend Ashley ordered her new baby and was kind enough to let me unbox it for her so I could show all of you how to set it up. So today we'll be going through all the pieces in the box, how to put it all together, and even do a little first test stitch. So stay tuned to see how you can set yours up at home. Okay, so let's get this baby open. Okay, so right on top we have our user manual. So here, this is a dust cover. And then this is your 5x7 hoop with the grid that comes with your hoop. And if you've seen any of my other videos, I use this all the time to figure out placement of your design. So that's really important. It also comes with a spool of bobbin thread, and once we have the machine set up, I'll show you how you can wind your own bobbin. But they do also sell pre-wound bobbins, so that is a lot easier. Here's the power cord. This is a little kit with some tools in it. We'll go over that in a second. Top can come off. And then the two main things inside the box is the machine itself and the embroidery arm. So here's the machine. And here is the embroidery arm that attaches on. Okay, so now that we've gotten all the pieces out of the box, it's just a little bit of removing some tape. So all I did here was take the big plastic covers that was on it and took that off. And then next, just remove all of the glue tape. So that was it for the embroidery arm, I think. Yeah. And then the machine itself, we have tape here. And then open this up. Oh. And you can see where you thread your machine. And then this pulls out to the front. And then this is a paper to register your machine, so you're going to want to do that. And then remove this tape. Okay, so once you have all the tape removed, then you can slide the embroidery arm right onto the machine. And there is a pin in here, so this will fit very nicely. And the computer will recognize it. So that's it as far as assembly goes. It's just removing the arm. And if you would ever need to move it or want to take the arm off, there is a kind of lever. Down here, and you would just stick your fingers up and pull, and this will detach. So now let's hook up the power, and I'll show you how to turn it on and how to wind a bobbin. So the power cord simply plugs in on the back of the machine here. And the on-off switch is right above it here. So, also I wanted to show you all the things that came in the little accessory pack. It comes with some extra needles. I recommend the 7511 ballpoint organ needles, and I will link those down below. It also comes with some scissors. This is to put over your spools of thread. They have several tools for changing the needle and also other areas on the machine for the bobbin case and also the presser foot. Here is a little dust brush for cleaning out the bobbin case. It comes with some empty bobbins. And these are some pieces. So the machine is set up so that you put your thread here, and I had a spool of thread. So you could put your spool of thread here, and you can use these pieces depending on how big your spool of thread is. I personally don't use this here. I like to use a separate, so I don't use any of these pieces that came with it because I like to use a separate thread holder. So I will place this right here and put my spool of thread here to then thread through the machine. So I don't use any of those pieces. It also comes with a seam ripper. And the last thing, this is something new particular to this machine. I don't have this with my machine, but it's something to do with pre-wound bobbins. So the pre-wound bobbins that I purchased, and I will link those down below, you don't need this attachment. So I guess this depends on what brand or size of pre-wound bobbins you're using. You may need this, but the kind that I will link down below, you won't need this attachment. And that's it. So next, let's go over how to thread the machine. So next we actually need to wind the bobbin before we thread the machine because we need to use some of the same direction for threading the bobbin. So I wanted to go over real quickly with embroidery machines the special threads that you're supposed to use and the difference between them. So for the bobbin, it comes with the machine. It's Brother bobbin thread. It is 90 weight. And with embroidery, we almost always use white for the bobbin thread. Sometimes you can also use black if you're mainly doing black garments, but I always use white bobbin thread. And for the top thread, it is 40 weight, and this is where all your colors come in because with embroidery, only the top thread is showing. The white you will only see underneath. So 90 weight for bobbin thread, 40 weight for the top thread, and both are 100% polyester, although they do have some rayon embroidery threads, but I've always used just polyester. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put the spool in your thread rack or thread stand, then come around to number 1. It goes behind number 1 and then down and around this metal piece here. And then now we're going to go for the bobbin back here, and we're going to go down underneath this metal piece and then up and around this spool. So once you are here, after you've gone around this metal bracket here, come this direction, and you want to go behind this metal piece and underneath it, and then pull forward here and then go around this metal circle here, so around this way. And here's a picture depicting what you're going for. And then pull it towards your bobbin. So what I do is I take the bobbin case and in a clockwise motion wrap the bobbin around a few times. Then I click it here, click down, and then right here is a thread cutter. So you go around here and down and pull, and that cuts your thread. So now we can go ahead and turn the machine on. So I'm going to use the on switch back here. And the machine, there's going to be 2 times you're going to have to press the machine every time it turns on to let it move the embroidery arm. And it's kind of like a startup mechanism every single time. So actually, because this is our first time using the machine, we need to set up the language. So let's go to set up language, and it's on English, and we'll hit OK. It's telling me to raise the presser foot. Okay. And the carriage of the embroidery. So this is what comes up every single time you turn it on. So it's going to say the carriage is going to move, and you're going to hit OK. And this happens. All right, so that's it as far as turning it on and setting it up. It's just selecting your language. Make sure the presser foot is up in the back, and I'll show you a shot of that in a second. So now that the machine is on, we can continue with the bobbin thread. So we have it all set up. All we need to do is push it over, and you noticed when I pushed it, this light went from being red to orange. Orange is for bobbin. So now it's orange, and I will click start, and now the bobbin starts to wind. And I just watch it and make sure that it's going up and down evenly, the thread. And once it is done, it will stop by itself, and you can just hit this button to stop it from trying to wind, and just push this over and cut the thread, and pull it out, and you have a nice wound bobbin. Sorry, it won't focus. There we go. So you can see that it's even. When looking at it on the side, you see how it's nice and even there. So that's how you know it did well. And here's a prime example of what it should not look like. See, that one did not come out good. And that was because at first it got loose right here and wasn't going around this circle anymore. Focus. It wasn't going around this circle here anymore. It was coming around the back, and so it didn't thread properly. Little mistakes. Happens to everybody. So now we have a bobbin thread, so let's load the bobbin. Now we are ready to load the bobbin. So the first thing you need to do is pull off the case for the bobbin, and there's a little release button here that you can pull, and it pops right out. So the machine already had a empty bobbin holder on it, so now we'll just replace that with our bobbin that we just wound. So, and there's a picture here, but basically you want to hold the bobbin and have the thread coming down the bottom like this, and that's how you want to put it in the machine. So place it in, and then you just follow the directions here. So you're going to pull it behind. I'm not doing a good job. Okay, so you want to pull it behind, and they have a space here where you want to drag the thread like this, and then up and around here, and then there's a blade right here that will cut it, but I like to pull a little bit and then cut. and then you can replace the cover. Okay, so we need to take the bobbin thread out. And now we'll use embroidery thread and thread the needle. So I'm going to put it in my thread stand again, come through, and then the first part is the same as the bobbin. We'll go behind this plastic piece, down and around this metal piece. Then number 2 is to bring it to the back, and then down, and 3, and then go back up to 4. And there's a metal piece in here that you can't see unless you look straight down in the machine, but you go around that and come back to 5. Okay, so we just finished pulling the thread and going up on number 7 here. You can see this is where you need to be holding it. So also another thing, this is different than my PE770, is the presser foot looks a little different. So this is the presser foot here. So right now it was up, so I just pushed it down. So in order to thread the needle on this machine, the presser foot needs to be down. So we're going to move it down. And then this is the rest of the needle threading. So once you have it up, going on number 7, number 8 is a blade here, so you could cut it if you want to. And number 9 is a lever that's going to then push the needle, push the thread, and then loop it through the needle. As you can see here, it looped it through, and then you just pull the rest out. So now that we have the bobbin done and the top thread done, we can do a test stitch. So I recommend to do a test stitch on your machine first to see if it has any issues and if you need to adjust any of the tensions. But I'm hoping right out the box, I've never had to adjust anything on my PE770, so I'm hoping it will be the same for the 800. So here I have the hoop that came with the machine. I have a piece of medium weight cutaway stabilizer and a piece of scrap fabric. So I'm going to take the hoop apart and just leave the bottom hoop down. I'm going to place the cutaway and then the fabric, and you want to make sure that everything is poking out on all the outer edges of the bottom frame. So you can just feel with your fingers and make sure everything is covered, and then you're going to push the top part of the hoop down. And when I do it, I usually hold my hand down here. I got that in place, and then I just kind of tug the fabric around to get the wrinkles out, and so that it's nice and taut when I push it down. So now this is ready to put on the machine. When you are ready to put your hoop and attach it to the embroidery arm, there are these metal brackets here and here that are going to attach to these two pieces here. So you would make sure your presser foot is up, slide it underneath, and sometimes when you're working with a thick t-shirt, I find the easiest place to get, if all of this is real bulky with the extra material, it's easy to get the hoop in right here in this corner. I find is the lowest point. So you're going to slide that over and then lift this up. Use your finger to pull back on this and then push down, and the hoop should attach, and you should wiggle it and make sure that it doesn't pop up on its own on accident. So now let's go ahead and set up a test stitch. So first I'm going to do it with some of the loaded fonts that are already on the machine. So I'm going to press the A, and I'll just pick the first font, and then this gives you, the whole alphabet of the uppercase, and if you scroll over, and then it'll start the lowercase, and then that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my name, I'll do uppercase, lowercase a. Alright, and then I can hit set, and it comes out pretty big, so you can change the size. So right now it's on large, so let's do it on medium, and you can change the proportions of it too, but I'm just leave it like that. And then I'm gonna move it to the top of the hoop. Okay, if I wanted to rotate it, I could. If I wanted to change how dense the satin stitch is, I could do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit end edit, and I'm gonna hit embroidery. And now I need to lower the presser foot, and when this green light comes on, that means it is ready to go. So let's start stitching and see how it comes out. So when it is finished, you can lift the presser foot and press this here and lift the hoop, and it'll come right up. So we can see that I only see purple thread, and we can check the back. And this is going to tell you a lot about your tension if you don't see any issues on the front, but you should only see the white, like right down the middle. You should see some purple on this side, some purple on this side, and then the white thread going right down the middle. So I think right out the box, the tension looks pretty good on the already loaded font that's on the machine. So next, let's try loading a design that I made on Embrilliance and see how that stitches out. Alright, so it's in finished embroidering, so I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to hit the back button, or I think I could hit this, yeah, so this will bring you back to the home screen. OK to cancel the current pattern, I'm going to hit OK, so now I'm back at the home screen, and I'm going to plug in my USB drive with all my embroidery files on it, so I'll plug it in here. This one's backwards from mine. Okay, plug it in, and then you press the USB symbol. And this is going to show you everything I have on this USB drive, which is a few things. And what I really like about the PE800 is now you have a color screen. This is so much harder to see on the PE770. So this is really nice and clear that you can scroll through all the designs that you have. So I just did my name in a pretty font, and then I'm gonna hit set, and then I'll move it down. So this is not something set up for the machine, so let's see how the tension is on a different font. And then I'm gonna hit end edit, and then I'll put the presser foot down, but even though this is still red, we have to hit embroidery here. And now this turns green. So let's see how this stitches out. Okay, now that it's finished, we can raise the presser foot and pull the hoop out and take a look. Okay. And we can see that the other font that I used stitched out just as nicely, and we can check the back and see that the tension looks beautiful. You can see a little bit of purple on either side of the stitch and white down the middle. Now, if you did have trouble with your test stitch and and you were having issues, something that you can check is the tension. And if you see this little scissors here, it's already set on 4.0. So if you are seeing white on top, you can reduce this to say 2, or in between 2 and 3, and keep test stitching until it comes out right. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you feel more comfortable now unboxing your very own Brother PE800 Embroidery Machine. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And in the description box, I will include links to, not only the machine, but to the embroidery thread, to the stabilizer, and to the pre-wound bobbins that I mentioned. So all the little supplies that you're going to need in order to use your machine right out the box. There's a couple things you are going to need just to get started. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because I try to give videos on tutorials on how to use your embroidery machine, specific projects, and so forth. Also, I started a Facebook group for beginners for machine embroidery, and also crafting with vinyl and using the silhouette machine. So if you're interested in joining that, there is a link down below. And it's a great place to, like, if you have a very specific question, there's lots of people in there that can, not only myself, but other experienced embroiderers in there that can help answer your questions quickly. And that's it. I hope everyone having a good day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.